All right, let's talk about the latest buzz coming out of the AI world. You've probably heard the whispers about OpenAI's next big thing, a new model that's codenamed Strawberry. And let me tell you, this is a story with two very different sides. We're talking about incredible promise, but also some really serious peril. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so let's start with a really big idea. I mean, what if an AI could actually reason? Not just spit back answers it's found online, but really, truly think its way through a complex problem. That's the fundamental shift, the game changer we're looking at here.
You know, the internet is just on fire right now with rumors and speculation. So what we're going to do today is slice through all that noise. We're going to get inside the rumors and try to understand what this Strawberry model really is, what it might be capable of, and, why you should even care.
So here's the deal. Strawberry isn't just like GPT-5, it's a whole different kind of beast. It's supposedly built for what the experts call long horizon tasks. And you can think of it this way. These are the really messy, multi-step problems that need genuine reasoning and the smarts to go out and find new information all on its own.
So first up, let's talk about the good stuff, the promise. What can this thing actually do? What kind of doors is this technology about to kick wide open? Because, honestly, some of the capabilities being talked about are absolutely mind-blowing.
It's really easy to get lost in all the tech speak, so let's just cut to the chase. How big of a leap are we really talking about here? Well, how about we look at a number, a single, very powerful number.
83%. That's the reported score that Strawberry got on the qualifying exam for the International Mathematics Olympiad. And listen, if you've ever even seen one of those problems, you know it's not about just crunching numbers. It's about creative, deep, almost intuitive mathematical reasoning. This is truly next-level stuff.
And to really put that 83% into perspective, check this out. GPT-4o, which is the super smart model we can all use right now, it only scored 13% on that same test. 13! So we are not talking about a small step up here. This is like a pole vault, a massive, massive leap forward in capability.
So how in the world does it pull this off? Well, the secret sauce seems to be this technique called chain of thought reasoning. It's actually pretty cool. Instead of trying to solve a giant, complex problem all at once, it acts more like a person does. It breaks it down into smaller, bite-sized pieces, solves each one logically, and then puts the whole puzzle back together for the final answer.
Okay, that's great for math problems, but what does it mean for the real world? Well, this kind of reasoning power has huge implications. We're talking about healthcare, where it could chew through clinical notes or analyze genomic data to help speed up drug discovery. Or software development, where it could become the ultimate coding assistant. It could even help us design better, more sustainable cities. The list just goes on and on.
So here's the bottom line for this side of the story. This isn't just about doing things a little bit faster. This is a potential game changer for really complex, high-stakes decision-making. But, and this is a huge but, with that kind of power comes some pretty heavy questions.
And that right there brings us to the flip side of the coin, the peril. You know the old saying, with great power comes great responsibility, and boy, does that apply here. The concerns around an AI this smart are, well, they're significant, and we absolutely cannot just ignore them.
Let's make this tangible. Think about something like hiring people for a job. Now, the dream, right, is that you can use AI to take all the messy human bias out of the equation. Sounds great. But the nightmare scenario, and it's a very real fear, is that the AI just learns all of our existing biases from past data and then automates discrimination on a massive scale. And just to be clear, this isn't some abstract theoretical problem. It comes from very concrete stuff. If you train an AI on decades of hiring data, it might learn to unfairly penalize younger applicants. We've seen it in medicine too, where AI trained on biased data gives less effective recommendations for minority groups. Heck, even the way the AI technically reads language, this process called tokenization, can bake in and even amplify these biases.
And look, it's not just academics and developers who are worried about this stuff. Governments are starting to pay very close attention. This quote here is from the UK's official AI white paper, and it's basically them saying, whoa, hold on, we need some serious rules of the road to make sure these systems are safe, secure, and robust before we just let them loose on the world. But it's not just about bias. There's a whole list of other major concerns. People are worried about transparency, with fears that OpenAI is becoming less open and more commercial. Then there's the huge one,
The job market. What happens when AI can automate complex tasks? And then you get to the really chilling stuff. The model's own risk assessment rated its potential for misuse with chemical, biological, or nuclear threats as medium. Yeah, medium. That's a word that definitely gets your attention.
So, wow. We've got this incredible, world-changing promise on one hand, and some truly profound peril on the other. What do we do? Where do we possibly go from here? How do we navigate this future?
You know, at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one central challenge. This isn't about stopping innovation. It's about weaving profound ethical responsibility right into the very fabric of the technology. And finding that balance, that is the defining challenge of our time.
So what does that balancing act actually look like in practice? Well, experts and governments are pointing to a few key things. We absolutely need clear regulations to ensure accountability. We have to make massive investments in reskilling and upskilling our workforce. And maybe most important of all, we need a critical shift in mindset, away from a tech arms race and toward responsible, ethical deployment.
Because here's the thing. The success of Strawberry, and any AI like it, won't be measured by its technical skills alone. It's going to be defined by our ability to integrate it thoughtfully, to manage the risks while harnessing the benefits. It's a real test of our collective wisdom.
And so that leaves us with this one final, crucial question to chew on. We know AI is getting smarter at an exponential rate, but raw intelligence isn't enough, is it? The real challenge, for all of us, is figuring out how to ensure that as AI gets smarter, it also gets wiser.